Hello and welcome here to the Velocity Stadium. Here is Chippenham Town versus Oxford City in the National League South. The date is Saturday the 11th of December. It's 3 p.m. kickoff here. We are here at the Velocity Stadium. It's a 3,500 capacity stadium located on a 3G pitch which is hired out in midweek. The average attendance here is around 530, but from what we've been hearing around the ground, it's going to be around 800 here today. And travelling Chippenham contingent seems to be in full force with around 80 or 100 Chippenham fans expected. So if you're listening from a home, send your love towards the boys. You can tweet us at ChiptownFC on Twitter, message us on Instagram, or message us on Facebook. Or if you're listening on MixLR, message us on the MixLR app and we'll shout you out and speak to the boys for you. So the lineups, Chippenham Town starting with number 1 is Will Henry, number 3 Danny Greenslade, number 5 and captain Kieran Parcell, number 6 the returning Will Richards, number 7 Ricky Aguiar, number 8 Alfie Santos makes his return, number 9 hat-trick hero from last week, it's Harry Parsons, number 11 Alex Bray, number 13 Joe Hanks in front of us. So far, 3 minutes in, been a pretty even game, just a game of throw-ins at the minute as the ball cannons off Alfie Santos and nearly hits one of the crowd members just in front of us here. And it's going to be a throw-in, another throw-in, probably the 4th or 5th one this half as the referee orders Zico is there just to bring the ball backwards as he's encroaching. Good challenge, and Harry Parsons actually can drive forward. He's got Ololawal to the right of him if he can find, and it's going to be a free kick after Zach McGeeran slid in on Harry Parsons. He didn't make contact with the Swindon Town loanee, but the intent was there to give away the foul. So referee Dale Wootton has given the free kick in favour of Chippenham just about 40 yards outside the goal. It's going to be Joe Hanks who's going to swing this ball in, or is it going to be Aguiano? He does give it to Joe Hanks. So, I mean, Parcell's gone up, Will Richards has gone up. Chippenham player could get his head on this. Joe Hanks to swing this in. I can see Will Richards raising his arm. He's going to look to get his head on this. Hanks sends the ball towards the far post. Parcell nearly heads it as Aguiar can't quite get there. And McGeeran gets it clear. And the ball's cleared all the way back towards Will Henry, who's come rushing out to send the ball. Here's Danny Greensley. He's going to take a touch and comes inside, beats his man. He's going to run down the line. And that's a good ball. Luke Russ tries to send it to Ololawal, but he can't quite keep it out. And it's another throw-in for Oxford, who go back and then send it forward, but then give away a throw-in of their own. So as it stands, 5 minutes just gone here, and it's currently Oxford City 0, Chippenham Town 0. So that's how I'm going to distinguish him today. Looks to play a little reverse ball forward, as that's a good challenge by Joe Hanks. And Luke Russ plays a really neat ball towards Alfie Santos. And here's Aguiar. He can find Parsons on the left of him if he could. It's a good touch, but the ball might just get away from him. Here's Harry Parsons, goes back towards Aguiar. Is he going to think about a shot? He beats his man. Looks to go around him. Here's Luke Russ on the left-hand side. Is he going to deliver a ball in? He goes back towards Danny Greenslade. Chippenham Town have to get this ball in now, surely. As Danny Greenslade does deliver the ball in, Lawal nearly heads it. And Zico is there, just has to shepherd it out. And that was a dangerous cross from Danny Greenslade. And Chippenham have a throw-in right in the corner. Santos plays it quickly towards Alex Bray, who looks to control the ball. Is he going to beat his man? No, he finds Santos, who sends a looping ball into the box, but it was just a little bit too far. And it is going to be a goal kick for Oxford. Manager of the club, but then they fell again in the late 80s as they were evicted from their home club and forced to shut up shop for a couple of years until the 90s. They were relegated to Step 5 in 2005, but from there is where they began their ascent up the leagues, and they're making an ascent forward here, but it's a good challenge by Will Richards, who can feed Alfie Santos just in front of us now on the right hand side. Sends the ball in towards the feet of Harry Parsons, who has a good little ball towards Ololawal, who plays a lovely triangular ball towards Santos, who's going to cut inside and deliver the ball left-footed. But again, it was straight into Ben Dodinsky, and Luke Russ has a little altercation with him, nothing more serious, and the referee does wave a little bit of a play on in this week, and they do look really tidy. So if you do want to see them when we do score, go and head out to our Chippenham Town Twitter account, at ChiptownFC on Twitter, where for every match you will be receiving match updates if you aren't listening to the dulcet tones of myself on an away match day. Here's Luke Russ, goes with his right hand side towards Danny Greenslade, who plays well towards Aguiar, who had a really impressive game against Dorking, linking well with Harry Parsons, and they both made it into the team of the week. Here is Harry Parsons now. Turns his man really well and gets into a good shooting opportunity. Oh, and he managed to put it towards that near post, that left-hand side of Ben Dudinsky, who shouts out towards his Oxford United defenders and midfielders as he didn't feel that shot could have got away. That was a dangerous strike from Harry Parsons, and Chippenham Town find themselves with a corner. 29 minutes gone. It's going to be Joe Hanks to take this corner. Far side, it's going to be, I believe, an in-swinging corner. It's currently Parcell and Richards that are in the box looking to get their heads on it. Kieran Parcell looking potentially aim for that top goal scorer spot this season. He's on 3 goals as the ball's in towards the box. It's headed away by Itrofano, and McGeeran could drive forward now. He's got 4 Chippenham players around him, but he's managed to hold off really well. And Itrofano is on the left-hand side, but it's a good touch, and there's a ball forward. Is Itrofano going to get the opportunity? No! Azair took it by himself and went for the selfish opportunity with his left foot, and he shanked it high and wide away from Will Henry's goal. And Itrofano looks up towards the sky, wondering what could have happened if the Oxford City left-back would have played the ball just slightly left. Sends the ball short. Nice little ball towards Alfie Santos, who plays it just to Alex Bray in front of us, as he's looking to make up ground. Is he going to look inside or outside? That's what he's wondering. That's what we're all wondering. This is Aguiar. Is he going to play the ball left-footed? No, he manages to drive and open up mountains of space. Here's Danny Greenslade to send the ball into the box. It's onto the head of, I believe, Harry Parsons or Ololawal. It might have been an Oxford defender who managed to get the head away. It was Ololawal, the birthday boy, who just put his header wide of the goal. It's a really end-to-end game. Both sides with a number of opportunities, mostly with their heads really, and Oxford have another goal kick.
Target.
Not sure if it would have been as good as the Kieran Parcell versus Braintree effort.
Oh no, yeah.
You can't beat that one. If you were there for that game, that was an absolutely sensational goal from the captain. Sweet as a nut, right-footed volley into the side netting. If you want to watch it on our YouTube channel, it's readily available, which of course you will be supporting us as a media team and the club. Is here goes Itrofano. He's got men in the middle. If he finds them, Itrofano plays it down the line, and the ball's at the back of the net. I believe it's Harvey Bradbury who's going to be claiming the goal. And that's against the run of play. I think it was Itrofano who just managed to get in down the line. It might have gone in off of Chippenham defender Will Richards, who looks to be a little bit distraught. There was a bit of a mix-up at the back. I'm not sure how it's happened, but Oxford City here have the lead at the velocity. It's Oxford City 1, Chippenham Town 0, as it's just gone into the 42nd minute. Really disappointing if you're a Chippenham Town fan. I feel it's been against the run of play. Some really good efforts for Chippenham that just haven't been taken, and we're a goal down again and it's not really worked. Really disappointing. As 17, it could be abbreviated too, as it is his birthday today, as we mentioned a number of times. Ololawal is 20 years old today, so if you want to send him any messages via us, we will do, as we'll chat to him at the end of the game. And here is Lawal again. He's going to look to get himself a little bit of a birthday treat as he holds the play up. Danny Greenslade going to deliver this left-footed, but it's again deep, but it just evades the Oxford City player at the far post. Santos goes towards Aguiar. Is he going to look to send a ball? And that's a nice little ball, but he couldn't quite reach the head of Parsons, as Aguiar does really well to just keep that ball as he turns his man. Was he fouled? The referee doesn't think so. Aguiar does, but Chippenham luckily kept the ball. As Chippenham manages to lose the ball, and it's Masaka there. I'm not sure what's been given. There's a free kick has been given here. I wasn't exactly looking at what's happened. A free kick's been given to Oxford. I think it was Aguiar that may have fouled. I'm not sure who. There's been a free kick for Aguiar. A yellow card for Aguiar, and I believe one of Oxford's players.
Number 4 looks like.
Yeah, number 4, Josh Ashby, have both been booked. I'm not sure what it was for, but Ben Dudinsky looked absolutely enraged as he ran towards the linesman on the far side, demanding for something.
Could be a potential like 1-to-1 maybe between those two. May cause it, I think.
Yeah, maybe a bit of...
Just give him the caution.
Yeah, just so far. Oh, as I'll just shut up for the minute.
663. Thank you for your support this afternoon. 663.
663 here at the Velocity Stadium, very similar to what Chippenham had last week, and that is above average for Oxford. As my research indicated in midweek, they get around the mid-550s. So another 100 of you, mostly Chippenham fans, I think, that have boosted the attendance this week. So thank you, guys, and just to see that message as... Actually, I will break away from that as Chippenham look to break away forward. Here's Aguiar, man who's now on a yellow card after his altercation, sends the ball into the box, but it can't quite get to Lawal, but he can just keep it in the far corner, who goes back to Greenslade. He might look to make something of it. He delivers it sideways. Here's Joe Hanks. He turns inside, sends a nice little ball out. Here's Santos. He's going to fire an effort. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Oh, Alfie Santos has scored an absolute screamer of an effort. Left-footed Alfie Santos, who's returned to the Chippenham side after his bout with injury, has scored one of the most sensational goals you will ever see at this level. Picked the ball out, 30 yards out maybe, shifted onto his left foot, Alfie Santos' weaker side, and absolutely buries it into the top corner. Dudinsky was nowhere near it. I was sure it was going over the bar. Dudinsky was sure it was going over the bar. And that is nestled right into the top corner. What a screamer from Alfie Santos.
Unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic.
And Kieran Parcell with the ball now. Here's Danny Greenslade, going to look to send a little dinked ball up towards Harry Parsons, and that's a nice touch. And Musaka with a lovely sliding challenge, just to kick the ball out. It's bounced off the fence back into play, and it's going to be Russ who plays it just short with his hands towards Greenslade. And here's Russ challenged, and Chippenham have a free kick. I couldn't see, my view was a little bit obstructed there. I'm not sure, it was a Wusu that brought Luke Russ to the ground. There's a bit of a structural support for the sound we're currently in just in my way. It's going to be Hanks and Aguiar who have stood over this. Both of them. No, Aguiar does walk away from it. It's going to be Joe Hanks right-footed. Aguiar makes a little run, but the wall adjusts just to block off his run. Hanks sends a nice sweeping ball in. It's headed! I'm not sure who headed that. I think it was Captain Parcell who headed that. And Dudinsky was just there, positioned right in the middle of the goal where the header was. A little bit of maybe a cleaner effort, cleaner head from Parcell, and that could have been 2-1 to Chippenham. They're really making some nice chances since the goal. It's all Chippenham now, as Isaiah plays the ball forward. Won by Richards. Here's Luke Russ with a nice little flick on towards Aguiar. And Aguiar challenges with Josh Ashby. And Ashby plays it sideways. Here's George Harmon. 37 listeners have joined our Mixer stream now, probably after seeing that goal, and you will be able to watch that goal from midnight on Sunday evening on our YouTube channel. But worrying signs here for Chippenham now as Ololawal has gone to the ground and he signals towards the bench. I think he does need to come off. I'm not sure what kind of injury it will be, but it doesn't look like the man who turns 20 today. He might look a little bit injured. He doesn't look the happiest as Harry Parsons consoles him. Maybe it's a bit of a muscle injury. I can see a change coming for Chippenham as I can see the board lights up in the dugout. Who's coming on? Who's coming off? I can't see any squad numbers, but it looks like it's going to be a shift around for the Hoops. Looks to be no changes in the next foreseeable minutes for Chippenham Town, as they've already had to make one change. That one was enforced as Ololawal went off, which looked to be a bit of a tight muscle injury. And I mean, you don't really want to take any risks in this Christmas period, because I mean the games come so thick and fast. If you're out for a week, you could miss 2 or potentially even 3 games in such quick succession. And Dan Griffiths did come on as Dudinsky plays the ball forward. It's looking to be on the head of Parcell, who's in a lot of time and space to think about how to head it, and Musaka heads it. It's going to be Parcell not to head it again as Bradbury beats Parcell to the ball as Bray just loses the ball towards Ashby, and it's Harmon who plays it down the line. Here's Atrofano. Quick feet, he's got 7 goals this season. He wants to make it the man. He's make it 8 as he turns his man and keeps the ball really well. He goes down, and the referee points to the penalty spot. It's a penalty. I think Kieran Parcell is the man who gave it away. It was Joe Atrofano who turned his man, or turned Kieran Parcell inside out and brought it down. I couldn't really see too much of it. I wasn't sure how stonewall of a penalty it was. I'm not sure. You've seen them given, you've seen them not. And for the second away game in the league in a row, The referee's pointed for a penalty against Chippenham Town as swathe of Oxford fans run down towards to watch this penalty. It's going to be an Oxford City player to take against Will Henry, who has a good record of saving from penalties. It is Josh Ashby to take this penalty against Will Henry. And Will Henry saves the penalty! Really well there! Low to Will Henry's right. And Will Henry looks to be so happy with what he's done here, but there's a Chippenham man down in the box after the follow-through. There was a bit of a free kick that the referee's given, but it's a tremendous stop by Will Henry. Oh yes, Josh Ashby. It was a good penalty, but it was a very comfortable height for Will Henry, low to his right-hand side. It's where he dived for the penalty against Maidstone. It's where he dived today. This time it was with a better result, and the Chippenham fans to my left has perked up now. It's a wonderful save by Will Henry, who looks to be so happy as he points towards Spencer Hamilton just in front of us. And yet again, it shows that Will Henry really has the calibre at this level to be one of the best goalkeepers. Oh, absolutely sensational. And that is an effort that has gone begging for Oxford. It was Josh Ashby that missed the penalty. He'll feel aggrieved. Itrofano did really well to win the penalty, and maybe he thinks if he'd have taken it, he could have dispatched it a little bit better. Matt, can you find out who that is down? Is that Kieran Parcell that was down?
I think it's Aguiar.
Yeah, it was Ricky Aguiar. Yeah, it was Ricky Aguiar, who looks like he can continue. He picked up a bit of knock after a collision with... and also you'll be able to catch up with Mike Cook, and if we do player interviews at the end of the game, you'll be able to catch up with them either tonight or tomorrow morning. You'll be able to find them on our social media platforms, as we will link to them. As the minutes just being ticked down here as Chippenham and Kieran Parcell look to be wasting a bit of time just seeing the game out with the throw-ins. But it's a poor throw-in, really. It's not really made a man, and it's another throw-in on that far side, but this one was to Oxford. Only a couple of moments left. 64 listeners now. Thank you very much to everyone who's coming to listen. We're really proud to do this. As the full-time whistle blows here at the Velocity Stadium. I mean, really, a hectic game end-to-end that probably deserved more than 2 goals for both sides. Oxford City scored first with a great strike from Bradbury just before the half-time whistle. And then just on about, I believe, 51st minute, it was, of course, it was Alfie Santos that scored an absolutely unbelievable strike into the top corner to level the game here. And the game was a bit end-to-end, a little bit bitty here and there, but the game has ended here at the Velocity. Oxford City 1, Chippenham Town 1. That means Oxford City go up to 31 points now. They could have gone top today if they'd have won, but they haven't. And Chippenham Town go up to 22 points now. They haven't lost, which, I mean, really their recent form is a positive. They've managed to get a goal, and that can breed confidence into the game against...